Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number 6 of Growing Up with Godzilla. My name is Donny Winter, and I am really excited to have you all here again. As I've mentioned before, this is a show, it's an ongoing series in which I have conversations with Godzilla fans about how the films and characters in our favorite franchise have helped us grow over the years. And considering how much we love these films and characters, their influence on how we grow and who we eventually become and who we have become, I think that deserves to be talked about, right? I am particularly excited for this episode because I finally get to have a face-to-face conversation with a good friend of mine who is also a YouTuber, my dear friend GojiFan1998, Nick Latimer. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. Good to be on
Yay.
this channel.
Right. It's great to have you here. I know we've been talking about doing a collaboration at some point over like probably the past couple of years and now we're finally making it happen and it feels really good, doesn't it? If you've not subscribed to GojiFan1998's YouTube channel, please go check it out as well. There's a lot of great content there. I want to know more about your story and how you were first introduced to Godzilla all the way back at the beginning.
Well, became a Godzilla fan when my late grandmother got me into it after I was born.
Oh, that's awesome. So I can kind of relate with that because I also got into Godzilla through family members as well. Except it was my parents. So did your grandmother also love Godzilla, or was it just something that was on TV? Can you describe what that was like?
Well, she likes Godzilla, and I have more detail for everything, as long as I can remember.
It's always nice to know when family members are actually Godzilla fans, right? Because I have
Yeah,
other
it's like
family.
it's kind of like passing the torch.
Yeah, kind of, right? I know, like, I do have other family members, as I was growing up who were like, "Donnie, shouldn't you grow out of this? Like, why are you still a Godzilla fan?" And I have other family members who are very supportive as well, so it's refreshing to know that we have support in places. Do you ever have family members who are like, "Nick, you're still a Godzilla fan? What?" Do you ever have family members do that, or is your entire family pretty supportive?
Well, my entire family are supporting me.
That's good. That makes me happy. Let's talk a little bit more about our favorite Godzilla films. So, like, looking back on your history as a Godzilla fan, um, what films have been your favorites and why?
Well, my favorite Godzilla films of all time was Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, or also known as Ebra Horror of the Deep.
Ooh. Now that's a unique one. What makes you love that one so much?
And that's where it got me into became Godzilla when grandmother got me watching the old VHS with the old English dub before international dub came around.
So that was like the first Godzilla movie for you then,
Yep.
right? Wow, that's really cool, and it still remains your favorite. I think that that's really refreshing because, in my opinion, I think Ebera Horror of the Deep is one of the most underrated Godzilla films from the Showa era. A lot of people tend to overlook it, and I think that well, I don't know. I don't think that's fair to the film, right? Like what parts of the movie really stand out to you? Like if your goal was to really get somebody into Godzilla and you had to use Godzilla versus the Sea Monster to really draw them in, like how would you explain that to them? Like what would you say are like the best aspects of the film?
Sometimes the movie gets a little bit too boring, and until Godzilla finally comes in a couple moments later.
Yeah, it is kind of it does take a long time, doesn't it? For Godzilla to
Yeah.
eventually appear. Um, but the battles in the film are really great. Do you really enjoy the battles in the film?
Oh yeah, I really enjoy it, especially not featured a battle between Godzilla and a giant condor because that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, like, I remember watching that film for the first time, and I was just like, where did this bird come from? Like, what and does it really stand a chance against Godzilla? Probably not, but it was still entertaining nonetheless, right? Of course, you can probably imagine that my favorite part of that film is the fact that Mothra is in it. Right. Don't get me caught up on that because I could go on for forever about that. Although it's another one of those situations, kind of like for you, where you were like, well, Godzilla doesn't appear till like halfway through the film. I feel that way about Mothra because throughout most of the film, she's just sleeping. It's like really, girl, wake up and get involved. Like, come on. Is there anything in that film that you think it could have done more with? By any chance? Like anything it could have changed or included?
Well, I would might say that if they should change it and allow just Godzilla get wake up, not to be in a whole half hour.
Yeah, ideally, I feel like that would be the best thing, right? Um,
Yeah,
additionally, I would have really liked to see Mothra and Godzilla tag team Ebera. Like that'd be kind of cool. Granted, I'm sure they didn't do that for budget reasons, but hey, I can't complain. Again, at least she's a part of it, right?
yeah.
Thinking about the entire Godzilla franchise, a lot of films, TV shows, etc. Do you have like any particularly favorite kaiju or human character?
I got my personal favorite kaiju of all time was Varan.
Ooh, what makes you love Varan so much?
Well, he was a giant lizard, and I first saw this guy when he made a small cameo in Destroy All Monsters, since he was originally meant to be a larger part of the film.
Yeah, I would say that that's one of my gripes about Destroy All Monsters. Like, I would have liked to see more of that character because aside from that, we get his only other appearance is in a solo film, which is kind of forgotten about, unfortunately. I've only seen bits and pieces of the film, Varan the Unbelievable. Have you seen that film?
Oh yeah, I love that one.
Yeah, I need to get my poop in a group and actually watch that film, don't I? That is my homework assignment. If you were in charge of Destroy All Monsters, that film, like let's pretend we can go back in time and you are placed in charge of that film. How would you have included that character more?
Well, I might say that we should probably build a new suit since the old one was damaged.
That is pretty important, right? Yeah. Because when the very few instances we see it in the film, it looks kind of I don't know, didn't it look kind of haggard, kind of like it had been decaying of sorts, right? Over time.
Yeah,
Yeah. Would you have uh would you have had that character fight any other character? Like any other kaiju?
I would love to see if Varan could get his chance to fight King Ghidorah.
Yeah, like during that final battle. See, I will say that I think that Destroy All Monsters was a very ambitious film, right? Like it kind of was like the Avengers of the late 60s. Because it included so many characters, but so many of them were sidelined, like Varan and Baragon and oh, I'm missing one. Who else was sidelined?
Manda.
Manda was sidelined as well. Although, of course, we at least get to see Manda appear briefly early in the film, but it's well, yeah, during like the city destruction sequences. And of course, there was a wasn't there like a deleted scene with Manda that I think
Yes, there was.
that I think that was the one where like Manda and Godzilla fight. Like I'm so sad that they took that out. That would have been so interesting.
That I heard that some said that it must be good reason because since both Manda and Godzilla are under a mind control by the Kilax.
Yeah, why would they fight, right? Like because they're all being manipulated, so they wouldn't be manipulated to fight each other. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So let's think about human characters for a second. Um, do you have any favorite human characters?
Yes, I got my favorite human characters.
Ooh, tell me which ones.
It was Madison Russell from Monsterverse.
Oh, yes. So what draws you to Madison Russell? Why do you like her so much?
She was a really great character, and I know it was played by the actress who plays Eleven from Stranger Things, Bobby Brown.
Yeah, I think she's very talented. Do you like, you've seen Godzilla versus Kong, right, already?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, so, like, I'm always conscious of spoilers even though it's been a year, like, people hopefully have seen it by now. How do you f like, do you feel, because obviously Madison Russell was introduced in Godzilla King of the Monsters, right? Main
Yeah.
character, very significant. Do you think that she do you think that she was in Godzilla versus Kong enough? Because I've heard some people say that she's not in it a lot and that they wish she would have been in it more. What is your opinion on that?
Well, I think that she should probably get more action in that film, like in
Yeah.
novelization did. Well,
So the novel, I haven't read the novelization. So the novelization does have her in it more, like she has more development.
yeah,
My theory is that they probably had so much going on in Godzilla versus Kong that they probably had to like pick and choose like what characters to develop. And I think that I mean she does develop a little bit, but like it kind of seemed to me it seemed like it was just thrown in there. Like I would have liked to see like how is she coping with the loss of her mom? Like what's her relationship with her dad like? And we barely get to see him in there either. So, yeah.
y- yeah.
Ooh, any other favorite human characters?
Was Dr. Daisuke Serizawa from the first Godzilla.
Oh, yes. What makes you like him so much?
The way to for a shared tragic story with Serizawa after when he had lost his eye during Second War, then he had a scar.
Of all the characters in the Godzilla franchise, I think that he is one of the most tragic and interesting ones, right? And I think that's what really makes the first movie draw us in as the audience, right? What do you think about like the newer Dr. Serizawa from the Monsterverse? Do you like that character?
Oh yeah, I really like that character.
I kind of nerded out because obviously to me that the creation of that character was a fan service of sorts, right? Because they wanted to honor that original character, but I think that they did a very good job with it. Is this when you create new characters inspired by older ones, sometimes people run the risk like you can do it incorrectly, right? And it could go wrong. But I think in the Monsterverse it went very right creating that character. And the fact that he also sacrificed himself, right? Like that was very I think that was very powerful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about Godzilla and how Godzilla has shaped you. So how like looking back on your life, how has Godzilla shaped you into the person you are today?
Well, to me, that Godzilla gets me shaped to make me become a fan and trying to get more collectibles for every merchandise that made popularity enough.
It sounds like he's really like made you want to like kind of involve yourself in the fandom, right? Like collect, make friends, etc. I think that's awesome. Well, obviously, we wouldn't have met without that, right?
Yeah.
Um, when did we first meet? Was it at GFest 2018?
We first met in 2017 GFX, I think.
I know it was the one that Megumi Odaka was at. It was either
Oh,
2017 or 2018.
oh, that was 2018.
Oh, okay. I That was so fun. Just for everyone watching this, like Nick and I met in the dealer's room, I think it was, right? Didn't we just run into each other in the dealer's room?
Yeah, you were calling my name, and I turn around, there you are.
I basically teleported there, didn't I?
Yeah, from my old video.
Yeah, I do remember that too. Like that was one of my favorite parts of G Fest. Like I've in 2018, that was the first time I had been back to G Fest in like 10 years. Like I hadn't gone to G-Fest since like 2007. So like the fact that you were one of the first people that I got to see, like that made my day. Like I was super excited about that. When was your first G-Fest that you ever went to?
2016.
2016. And have you been to each one since?
Well, sometime. Yeah, I didn't show up in 2019 one because my sister's wedding was very important for family business.
Right. Well, sometimes you got family comes first, right? That's what's most important. What is your favorite thing to do at GFest and why?
Well, my favorite thing I did in GFX was meeting with Chris Cubans that he was once GojiFan1998.
Yes. Oh, I met him too. What else do you love to do at GFest? Do you have any any things that you like to go do specifically?
I like to do to make an appearance reach Iso's video to show what did I got for the dealer's room.
Those haul videos, right? Like where we can showcase everything that we got. Those are fun.
Yeah,
I think I need to do more of those because I when I went to G Fest last time, the only thing that I really did was well, for me, when I go to G Fest, I always buy a lot of art. That's what I collect. I collect art because a lot of my friends are artists. So I really wish I would have done haul videos where I showcase all of the art. So I'll have to do that next time. Obviously, you do enjoy collecting figures, right? Um,
yep.
are there any specific figures that you really focus on? Do you have a favorite figure?
Oh, I got my favorite figures of all time.
Which ones are they?
X Plus.
Oh, the X Plus line? Yes. Yep. When did you get those?
I first started back in 2017 when I come to second GFX for my second time.
Oh, wow. As a collector, right? Do you have any figures that you really, really want that you've not gotten yet?
Well, I'm not sure because there's so many of them.
There are a lot of them. Sometimes it can get a little overwhelming. I know for me, I have to I have to be like, Donnie, no. Like, Donnie, do you have the money for that? And then I end up buying it anyway. You should see how ridiculous I get with. I mean, I told you that I love plushies, right? That
Yeah.
Mothra plush, I spent more money than I probably should on that. But it's so cute. I needed it. I really needed it. I would consider you a content creator. You are a YouTuber. What made you start doing YouTube?
Oh, this is one's easier. As when I became a YouTuber for the first time on my older channel of the same name, when I was inspired Chris Cuban himself.
Oh, he inspired you. Yeah, because I mean, the name of your channel is inspired by that, right? So yeah, that's really cool. Thinking about because your newer channel has grown quite a bit. I think you have about what, over 500 and some subscribers now?
Yeah.
What are your goals as a YouTuber? What else do you want to do?
Well, I just want to make my channel to be bigger, like my favorite kaiju sister, Alyssa herself.
Right. Oh, Alyssa. Alyssa's wonderful, isn't she?
Yeah. And there's something I have to tell you that, Donnie.
Oh, do tell.
Alyssa is coming to GFX for the first time for this year.
I know, she told me. Isn't that exciting?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Kaiju Kim is gonna be there too. We should have a little YouTuber get together. That would be fun.
Yeah.
There's just always a lot of potential for get-togethers at GFest, and I think that, I mean, granted, there's a lot happening at GFest. It's easy to miss things, but that's one of my favorite things to do. So I have one final question for you, my friend. Are you ready for it?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any advice for Godzilla fans who may be new to the franchise?
Well, for my advice for any new fans, for those who are joining Godzilla fans for the new one, I would suggest you start from the beginning. Go watch from the beginning.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. Because obviously, the franchise is really big and it can be kind of overwhelming for newer people, right? Starting at the beginning, I think, is a very good, solid point, and just go from there. I really enjoyed having a conversation with you today. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about that I may have missed?
I well, there's one last thing before you conclude this video.
Sure.
But if I see you again in GFX, I might give you a little heads up if you can find me again.
Oh, I'll find you, of course. We'll
I
probably
will
bump
dye
into each other.
I will dye my hair to be green
You're gonna dye your hair green?
to transform myself to Super Godzilla mode when I'm super excited.
That is amazing. I look forward to that. I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
All right, Nick. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to have a conversation with me. I always enjoy talking with you, and I fully expect to have you back at some point in the future. Would you be interested in that?
Oh yes, I would love to have make a return whenever you need me.
Woohoo! Well, my friends, if you have not subscribed to GojiFan1998's YouTube channel yet, please go do that. If you are watching this afterward, if you have any specific questions, don't hesitate to leave them down in the comment section because we will go through and respond to them. Again, thank you for watching Growing Up with Godzilla. This show premieres on the first and third Sunday of each month at 4 p.m. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.